Ladies and gentlemen, Atayay Robles.
Regresaré y llegaré a donde tú estés, amor, aunque yo no sé si tal vez te sientas igual que yo. Y aunque entre nosotros va pasando el tiempo, vivo recordando aquellos lindos momentos compartidos entre tú y yo. Nunca se acabó el amor. Sobre mi piel todavía siento tus caricias, la luz de tus ojos, esa linda sonrisa, tu voz angélica, con tanto bien que me haces mal. Yo te recuerdo como ayer, cuando fuiste mi mujer, en corazón y piel. A veces me pregunto si es que piensa en mí también, donde quiera que tú estés. En mi mente diariamente mi recuerdo te visito, relatando melodías de caricias y besitos, haciendo lo que fuera por llenar los requisitos y convertir lo nuestro en algo exquisito. Un amor fenomenal, un amor tan especial. No importa cuánto tiempo, nunca te logré borrar. He tenido otros amores sin poderte comparar. Me he entregado a otros cuerpos y nunca he sido igual. Tú vives en mí, siempre estás en mi pensar. Hoy me he vuelto a enamorar de ti. Siempre te voy a extrañar, como te sabes entregar a la hora de amar. Y tú vives en mí, siempre estás en mi pensar. Y hoy me he vuelto a enamorar de ti, hoy de ti, de ti, de ti. Me hace falta como las olas, le falta el viento. Me hace falta cuando a solas y en cada momento es que en ti pienso. Nunca te olvido, no. Mi corazón aún por ti palpita, extrañando tu calor y tus caricias que mar a mí me va. Y ya que tú no estás, yo te recuerdo como ayer, cuando fuiste mi mujer, en corazón y piel. A veces me pregunto si es que piensa en mí también, donde quiera que tú estés. Y no le hagas caso a lo que la gente diga, a los metiches que vivan su vida, que no saquen cuenta que aquí no hay medida. Avísame mi amor pa' llevarte enseguida a un lugar lleno de placer, donde solo domina el amor, no el querer. Y así los dos convertirnos en un ser, en un pacto mutuo, hacerte mi mujer. Tu hermosura es lo que quiero ver, íntimos deseos con placer. Y así ser que te olvides de él, mirando al futuro todo queda en el ayer. Ando buscando un encuentro contigo, te he buscado y no lo consigo. Haré cualquier cosa para que estés conmigo, y en tus días más fríos yo quiero ser tu abrigo. Yo soy sincero en todo lo que digo, todo lo que siento solo yo testigo. Si acaso tú no crees en Cupido, yo nací para ti, vamos a estar unidos. Tú vives en mí, siempre estás en mi pensar. Y hoy me he vuelto a enamorar de ti. Siempre te voy a extrañar. Te sabes entregar a la hora de amar y tú vives en mí. Siempre estás en mi pensar y me he vuelto a enamorar de ti. Hoy de ti. Regresaré y llegaré a donde tú estés, amor, aunque yo no sé si tal vez te sientas igual que yo.
Hi, welcome to Entre Nosotros on CCP TV, the educational channel of Community College of Philadelphia. I'm your host, Gilberto Gonzalez. My guest today is Vivian Ortiz, community activist and cancer survivor. Hola, Vivian, welcome.
Welcome, thank you. Thank you for having me on the show.
So I want to first get a little bit about your background in Philadelphia.
Okay. Well, my parents are from Puerto Rico. We are the first generation here in this part of the United States, even though Puerto Rico is part of the United States, it's a territory, but we're the first generation born here. I was born and raised in the Spring Garden section of Philadelphia. We later moved to the North Philadelphia section, the St. Boniface area. That's where I grew up, in St. Boniface Church, the grade school. And from there I went to Hallahan High School.
Oh, wow.
So all Philadelphia, and then LaSalle University. Now, trivia for you. I was the first class to graduate from the university. Before it was a university, it was a college.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's real interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. So tell me a little bit about your activism.
Okay. Well, after I got my education and started working, as I was growing up, my parents always taught me to give back. So it was time for me to give back, and so I was looking for different things and different ways to give back. And besides the church, I some of my volunteerism were at Kensington Hospital near home.
Mm-hmm.
In the area that I grew up, I needed to start there for me.
What kind of things did you do at Kensington Hospital?
Volunteer with a lot of the patients. When they had events for the patients, and the community to come in, we would go in, help out. They had bingo, those types of things is what I started out doing.
And then as that progressed, you got a little bit more involved.
Yes.
With other organizations.
Yes, because I kept looking. A friend of mine, a very good friend of mine, ended up having breast cancer, and that really affected me.
Tell me a little bit about the activism work.
Okay. Well, my activism started young. When I was younger, growing up in St. Boniface area, I was a volunteer, no volunteer, but it was Hijas de Maria.
Mm-hmm.
Once a month on a Sunday, we would dress up in the white blouses and the blue skirts like the Virgen, and we would do different things for the church, for the school, in the community, like cleaning the church pews, cleaning the school, chalkboards, things like that.
Very nice.
So that was always instilled in me. So as I grew older, I knew I had to give back, but I had to finish my school first, had to get my life together first before I was able to give back. So I found an organization, the National Conference of Puerto Rican Women, NACOPRO, which was something that interested me because they did a lot for the women, Hispanic and Latina women here in the United States and Puerto Rico.
And NACOPRO, what do they do? Are they just in Philadelphia? Or
No, it's a national organization. Mm-hmm. It was established in Washington, D.C. in 1972, more or less by women activists as well, that wanted a voice. There was a lot going on. There's, as far as immigration, same things that are going on today, immigration, schools, education, socio and economic. So they wanted to bring that forth and have a voice. And that is an interest to me. So I've held positions on the board on the local level here in the Philadelphia area, as well as on the national level. I've been national president two tenures.
Wow, so national president means that it's Nacopro
Nationwide.
Yes. And nationally, do you guys get together?
Yes, we do. We get together. We get together on a quarterly basis. But my goal for the organization was to bring us forth. We worked very much in my tenure with the Obama administration and the Women's Bureau. Took a lot of trips to Washington, D.C. with the Secretary of Labor, Hilda Solis, when it was her tenure. Worked with Sara Manzano Diaz when she was director of the Women's Bureau. Lots of trips to Washington. Our voices on immigration and a lot of the important issues that are the mission of the organization. So I'm very happy to say we got our voices out there. The organization is very well known, and we sit at the table with the NHLA. So that's important because it's a national. Nationally, we're out there.
So locally, what were some of the things, what were some of your goals for the
locally were to recognize our folks that are doing in the community. A lot of the ladies that do just for volunteerism. A lot of us work and we get paid for what we do, but the volunteer work is that exactly, volunteer. And for me is to get us out there doing our volunteer part, as well as recognizing a lot of our community organizers and community folks.
Do you guys do political activism?
Yes, yes we do. We're a nonpartisan, but we're civilly responsible for us is, for people to understand it's your right to vote. It's important for you to get out there and vote. So if there's someone that's out there pushing that, then we collaborate with them. On election year, various election year. This year was a local election year. We held a meet and greet for all of the candidates to come out to the community, so our community people can see their face and hear what they have to say, so they can make a decision. So awareness and education is very important.
Wow. And then your activism and volunteerism moved into different areas.
Oh, yeah.
Such as the Susan
G. Komen, yes. My involvement with the Susan G. Komen began when a dear friend of mine had breast cancer, and for her it was very difficult. She didn't speak about it. With the job she had to work, so it was an impetus for me to go to the Susan G. Komen and tell them that I would like to volunteer. I want to bring awareness to our people.
So what kind of work, like when you volunteered, like did you help her? Like what kind of things did you do as a volunteer?
As a volunteer with the Susan G. Komen, we volunteered at the annual race for the cure. I started out with the annual race for the cure, which is all organizations, all people, anyone can do the race.
Where is that? And
that's on an annually. That's now on Mother's Day. Every Mother's Day, it's a great experience because you see thousands and thousands and thousands of people with family members, survivors, family and friends. My group alone is over 30 people because they want to. They want to support me because I later ended up with breast cancer as well. But my volunteerism started there with the Susan G. Komen annual race for the cure. But again, for the Latino community, I was looking for something as well. So they also have, the Susan G. Komen also has the Latinas Unidas event. It's an annual event. It's an educational event to bring to the community the awareness of the different things that you can do to help you through life. If you get cancer, try to prevent cancer, pre-testing.
So your activism at the Susan G. Komen started out as helping out a friend.
Yes.
And trying to educate really just all communities about cancer. And then later on, you had cancer.
Yes, I did. I found out that I had breast cancer, and which was devastating. cancer does run in my family, but I did not realize it was breast cancer until I ended up with breast cancer. It was very devastating for me.
And how did that come about? How did you discover that?
Well, I keep up with my annual checkups. So when you turn a certain age, the norm, the schedule is for you to, and at a certain age, which I don't want to say, you have to go for your screenings. I went for my screening, and they found some calcifications, but I was too afraid, and I didn't do anything for a year. And so when I returned the year later, it was...
So calcifications, that is... what is that?
Calcifications are in your breast. You get, you know how, I don't know how to explain it, but they're like little dots in your breast that they can see. They're visual on x-rays. And that's important. I didn't realize how important that was until later. So and I'm speaking from my experience. Things like that you have to be aware of. You have to talk to your doctor about, because you can't just not do anything about it, because I'm an example of that.
So you went from volunteering to now to then battling cancer.
Yes.
And what were some of the things, what were some of the battles that you had?
Some of the battles that I had were, some of us carry the gene. I had to make some very aggressive and drastic decisions. For me, I'm a single person. I had no children. I had to make choices there because I was told I had to have chemo. And at my age, that would put me in permanent menopause. So it's a lot. It's a lot that you go to. The physical chemo. Luckily, and thank God, I did not have to have radiation. It's a big involvement. They have to check the area, make sure that they have a scope of how far they go out to make sure that they have everything. And if they're comfortable out to this portion, you're okay. And from there, with all the research, they're able to tell you whether you need the chemo, whether you need radiation, whether you need a lumpectomy. They'll make suggestions, but it's all me. I had to make a choice. It was very aggressive.
So now, as a survivor, again, that journey of the battle. Now you're a survivor. Tell me a little bit about surviving. And
for me, it's keeping up with the medical portion, keeping up with the doctors, keeping up with the research, making sure that I'm doing the right thing. I still continue to go to my oncologist, my surgeon, my regular doctor. So it's still a host, and I think I want to continue that because it was a big journey, a big struggle, and it's not a joke. It's not a joke.
So now again, your journey now is you're bringing awareness about cancer to
the entire community, because with the Susan G. Komen, I work with them on both the annual race, which is hundreds of thousands of people, and I also work with them on the Latinas Unidas, which is an annual event for the Latino community.
So do you I know you work on the overall cancer awareness for like just all citizens.
Yes.
But do you also focus a lot on the Latino community specifically, or?
Yes, with the Latinas Unidas, and that is not just for women, that is for men as well. I collaborate with them, not just on this particular event, wherever they can educate people. We bring, if they have brochures in Spanish, I volunteer at other places. I bring the brochures there, to the churches, to the local community.
So now, you also won an award, the Spirit of Promise Award.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I want to acknowledge you for that.
Thank
It's
you.
an amazing award.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about that award.
Okay. Well, because of the work that I've been doing with the Susan G. Komen organization over the years, they presented me with the Spirit of Philadelphia Award this year, and I was the ambassador for the annual event. And we're starting to be more committed and bringing more people, more community people on. It's just bringing awareness to everyone, and I'm hoping for a world without breast cancer. So that's my goal.
Sweet. Now, in the Latino community, where is cancer in our community with men, women? Just like what are the where are we with that?
Okay. I can talk to you about the breast cancer and the stats that I know. We have a lower incidence. Lower incidence. That means we don't normally get it.
Is there a reason why? Do they know why?
From the research that they have, and we need to be part of these research. It's very important that we are part of these research. That's the only way they're going to know. So from the research that they've done, we have a lower incidence of it, but we have a higher death rate because we don't go to the doctors on time. We procrastinate, and that is not good. Cancer is it's not a laughing matter, and it's a serious matter that you have to go and work with your doctors, work with your teams.
Do you think it's just the fact that they're not, the Latino community may not be, the medicine or their health may not be as big as a concern?
For them, for the Latino community, I believe it has, and it has been my experience. It was very hush-hush before. As I said, my friend that went through it, she was very quiet and no one knew. She continued to go to work and she suffered a lot.
She during her experience, her path, her experience with cancer,
yes,
she continued to work and
yes,
do therapies or?
Yes, but she ended up sick because a lot of the research back then did not have like I did. I was able to work, but because I took shots, over the years you find the different medicines that help with the nausea, but she didn't. She did not, and she had to work and she suffered. She ended up in the hospital quite a few times.
And did she had breast cancer?
She had breast cancer. She's a survivor. She's still with us today.
Oh,
and
great.
She's doing very well.
Wonderful. Now, do you think also that the impact of cancer in the community and the fact that you said it's kind of hush-hush, quiet, do you think that's a cultural thing as well?
Yes, it is. That's why I want to bring awareness and let them know that it's okay to talk about it. That's why we have this annual event for Latinos only, so they can congregate and see their people.
So tell me a little bit about that cultural aspect. Like,
it's very hush-hush. They're afraid to talk about it, even with one another. So we would take and go for coffee. One of my friends had it and she didn't want to talk about it. So a group of us gathered together and said, oh, let's go out for coffee. And when I started talking about my symptoms, my issues, then she was able to open up. So this is why it's very important for them to see their people, their culture, they're going through it, they can identify with it.
So, but I think before we had mentioned something about how, in particular with women, that they
always put themselves last. They take care of their family first and everyone else first. They want to be the one to take care of everyone, and that's why they put their health last. But it's important for them to understand that if you want to be there for them, you have to take care of yourself too. So as part of your daily schedule, it should be your daily routine, as when you take your family member or whoever to the doctor, make your appointment too, because you want to be there for them.
So is that part of the educating the community, is that, and the cultural problem is that women, again, put themselves last, and they don't take care of themselves because they're busy taking care of the husband, taking
the children,
care
the
children, and so along with that, is there also enough medical coverage? Is there enough clinics in the community to?
We're hoping. With the Susan G. Komen, what they do is they direct you to different hospitals. They have different programs. It's only a certain time of the year that they do. They do a run from the beginning of the year through June, and they reach out to different hospitals. Many hospitals are becoming more open, so it is growing. As we get more and more people to come in, more and more people to register, they do reach out. And for me, there's hope.
So Latino men are also impacted by cancer?
Yeah.
Like,
It's not just women. It's rare, but it's not just women. Men can get breast cancer, and it's not just for the breast cancer. It's them opening up for what their female partner is going through, for them to understand, which is very important, because if they don't understand, the women are not going to have the support that they need.
wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So now, where are you today? Like, where is Vivian Ortiz? Like, where is your journey taking you now?
Well, my journey is taking me on the activist portion. I think that's what moves me. Making sure that the community is educated, the community is empowered, because we do have to stand up for a lot of things. We do have to make our voices heard. It not just whether it's voting, whether it's taking care of yourself, putting yourself in power, so you know how to take care of yourself physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. So, and for me, it's voluntarily, because you do it from the heart.
Mm-hmm.
And I get involved in what I can. Of course, I take care of my family.
Mm-hmm.
I try to be involved there as well. It's a balance. It's a balance. Mm-hmm.
So today you're bringing awareness to the community.
Mm-hmm.
And are you still working with the Susan G. Komen?
Oh, yes.
Now,
very involved.
Now, if people wanted to get information
Mm-hmm.
on breast cancer awareness,
Mm-hmm.
who
There are a number of organizations besides the Susan G. Komen. I do my research, a lot of research online, and you just hit keywords, breast cancer, a lot of things come up, but I work also with the American Cancer Society on various cancers, not just breast cancer. I just don't concentrate on breast cancer, because in my family, cancer is prevalent. So I try to work on all cancers. So I'm also involved with the American Cancer Society, and they have various events too. Wherever they have health fairs, I bring them out. I bring them out with brochures in Spanish, brochures in English. If they can give workshops, I try to have work with them to do that, collaborate with them to do that as well.
And where are some of the places in the community where workshops are done?
With NACOPRO, we hold workshops. We find different places. Some of them we have the Crane Arts Building on 2nd Street. We collaborate with different organizations. We recently had a health workshop for women right before Mother's Day. It was held at Tierra Colombiana, but it was along with the Department of Labor, with the Councilwoman's Office. So there were various sponsors there.
Very
So
nice.
yeah, and they really enjoyed it. It was over 100 women. We gave them a little breakfast. You educate them on the different issues of cancer. We try to give them a diet. We started walking at Edison Tuesdays and Thursdays. We're still walking for this summer around Edison High School track.
Nice.
So that's where we have little conversations, and it's fun. It's fun.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
So you try to have
That's
fun with
amazing.
it too.
Wow, what a knowledge that's amazing work that you're doing in the community.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for that.
No, thank you. Thank you for having me and giving me, a voice.
Oh, no,
A voice for
you
the
got it.
community.
That's all the time we have today. I would like to thank my guest, Vivian Ortiz, for joining me, and I would like to thank you for tuning in. You have been watching Entre Nosotros on CCP TV, the educational channel of Community College of Philadelphia. I'm your host, Gilberto Gonzalez. See you next time.